Michael Jackson's fortune reached far beyond music. Alongside his record-breaking career, he invested millions in luxury estates, custom-made vehicles, and some of the world's most sought-after collectibles.
Just come out on your own?
Yes.
What, and go on a ride?
Yep.
Behind the spotlight, Michael Jackson was also a remarkably savvy businessman. His strategic investments in music publishing became some of the most profitable decisions of his career, matching the brilliance of his legendary performances.
Wow. Oh, it's sold. Look.
I bought this one, right?
Is this yours?
Yeah, that's the soul sign, mean it's for me.
Today, we're taking a closer look at some of Michael Jackson's most expensive possessions and the charitable causes he championed, relying on documented figures and verified financial records. One of the most significant purchases of his life was Neverland Ranch. In March 1988, Michael Jackson purchased Sycamore Valley Ranch for approximately $19.5 million. The sprawling estate covered nearly 2,700 acres in California's Santa Barbara County, featuring rolling hills, dense oak woodlands, and a picturesque lake. After acquiring the property, he transformed it into the world-famous Neverland Valley Ranch. What began as a luxury estate soon evolved into a massive personal project. Over the years, Jackson invested heavily in construction, landscaping, and custom-designed attractions that turned the ranch into a unique fantasy destination. According to financial records, the property's ongoing expenses were enormous. Even without major new developments, maintenance and ownership costs regularly exceeded $2 million per year. Additional audits revealed that staff wages, utilities, insurance, security, and property taxes required millions more annually. By the time all purchase costs, renovations, attractions, and years of upkeep were added together, Michael Jackson's total investment in Neverland Ranch had grown well beyond $50 million, making it one of the most expensive personal properties associated with the King of Pop.
How many? 45. 45? Yeah. We're looking for 45 in.
Neverland Ranch was never intended to be a simple investment. It was an ever-expanding dream project that demanded enormous amounts of money to maintain. While Michael Jackson earned millions from albums and world tours, a significant portion of that income flowed right back into the ranch. For him, the cost was worth it. Neverland represented a private fantasy world, and he was determined to preserve that vision no matter the expense. Now for a special question. Imagine seeing a photo of a man who looks remarkably like Michael Jackson taking a selfie in front of what appears to be Neverland Ranch. Behind him stands the iconic train station, while a giant crystal-covered microphone rises on one side. On the other, a golden statue captures one of Michael's signature dance poses. The entire scene looks like a magical tribute to the King of Pop, almost as if someone transformed Neverland into a larger-than-life monument to his legacy. But here's the question. Are all of those details actually part of Neverland Ranch, or is something not quite right? Share your thoughts in the comments below. The amusement park and zoo. One of the most extraordinary features of Neverland Ranch was its private amusement park. The property included a Ferris wheel, a vintage carousel, bumper cars, a roller coaster, and a steam-powered railway that traveled through the ranch's vast landscape. The Ferris wheel alone reportedly cost more than $215,000 to purchase and install. Keeping the attractions operational required constant inspections, maintenance, repairs, and liability insurance. Over time, those expenses added up to millions of dollars, with some estimates placing the annual amusement park budget near $5 million. The ranch also housed a private zoo filled with exotic animals, including giraffes, elephants, tigers, and Michael's famous chimpanzee, Bubbles. Caring for these animals required veterinarians, specialized habitats, dedicated staff, and daily feeding programs that cost thousands of dollars every month. When Neverland eventually closed, many of the animals were relocated to sanctuaries. By then, however, years of operating expenses had already accumulated into a substantial financial burden. This wasn't simply a wealthy celebrity's hobby. It was essentially a privately owned theme park with operating costs comparable to those of a small business. Neverland's valuation and sale. In 2008, Investment firm Colony Capital stepped in and assumed control of Neverland's approximately $23 million debt. By that point, years of deferred maintenance had taken a toll on many of the rides and structures throughout the property. Following Michael Jackson's death, the ranch, renamed Sycamore Valley Ranch, was listed for sale in 2015 with an ambitious asking price of $100 million. The valuation reflected hopes that the global fascination surrounding Jackson's legacy would attract an ultra-wealthy buyer. That buyer never appeared. Although the final sale price fell far below the estate's original expectations, the listing became a fascinating example of how celebrity status can influence real estate valuations and how unique properties can be difficult to sell regardless of their fame. The Encino family estate. While Neverland became world famous, Michael Jackson never completely disconnected from his family roots. The Jackson family's Havenhurst estate in Encino, California, was originally purchased by his father, Joseph Jackson, in 1971. Michael later acquired ownership of the property in 1982. Public tax assessments have valued the estate at around $4.15 million, though real market estimates often place its worth considerably higher. Hidden behind tall wrought iron gates and surrounded by mature trees, the property includes a recording studio, a basketball court, a swimming pool, and extensive private grounds. The home carries immense personal significance. It was here that Michael and his brothers worked on early music projects, and it later became the residence of his children, Prince, Paris, and BG, after his passing. Unlike Neverland, which represented fantasy and imagination, the Encino estate symbolized family, stability, and continuity. It remains a private family residence rather than a public attraction, making its emotional value impossible to measure. The Holmby Hills Rental Mansion. During the final months of his life in 2009, Michael Jackson lived in a rented mansion located at 100 North Carrollwood Drive in Holmby Hills, Los Angeles. Contrary to many reports, he never owned the property. Instead, he leased the mansion for approximately $100,000 per month and reportedly paid a substantial security deposit. The luxurious residence featured 7 bedrooms, 13 bathrooms, a private theater, a fitness center, and a resort-style pool and spa area. Jackson selected the home while preparing for his highly anticipated London concert series, This Is It, using the space for rehearsals, meetings, and security operations. The mansion was later sold in 2012 for approximately $18.1 million. Despite frequent claims in tabloids and clickbait articles, it was never part of Jackson's real estate portfolio. Even so, the rental illustrates the extraordinary scale at which he lived. Spending 6 figures every month on temporary accommodation demonstrates the level of luxury that surrounded even the most short-term aspects of his lifestyle. The Las Vegas years. After returning to the United States in 2006, Michael Jackson spent several years living in Las Vegas. During this period, he rented an extravagant estate known as Thriller Villa, located on Palomino Lane. The property came with a monthly rent that reportedly exceeded 6 figures, not including utilities, security expenses, and maintenance costs. The mansion featured a grand entrance hall illuminated by crystal chandeliers, a luxurious master suite with dual bathrooms, a private fitness center, and a resort-style outdoor area complete with a swimming pool and cabanas. Jackson used the residence as more than just a home. It served as a private space for dance rehearsals, vocal recording sessions, and meetings with business advisors as he worked to rebuild his career and finances. Although the mansion was later listed for sale with an asking price of approximately $19.5 million, Jackson never owned it. Even so, maintaining such an expensive residence during a financially challenging period demonstrated the extraordinary lifestyle he continued to uphold. This chapter of his life represented a transition between permanent homes, but it also highlighted his determination to preserve a world-class standard of living despite mounting financial pressures. The ATV Music Catalog purchase. While Michael Jackson owned impressive homes and luxury vehicles, his most valuable acquisition was neither a property nor a car. In August 1985, he purchased the ATV Music Publishing Catalog for approximately $47.5 million. Depending on legal fees and exchange rate calculations, some estimates place the final cost slightly lower, but the deal remains one of the most important business decisions in entertainment history. The catalog contained publishing rights to more than 200,000 songs, including the legendary Lennon-McCartney-Beatles catalog, along with works from numerous other influential artists and songwriters. Jackson carefully studied the catalog's earning potential before completing the purchase. Rather than viewing it as a celebrity investment, he recognized it as a long-term source of royalty income capable of generating revenue regardless of album sales or touring schedules. His decision surprised many industry observers at the time. Yet within a few years, the catalog's value had increased dramatically as music licensing, broadcasting, and commercial usage continued to expand. The acquisition transformed Jackson from a performer into a powerful rights holder with a financial asset capable of producing income for generations. The 2024 Sony transaction. Nearly 4 decades after the original purchase, Jackson's publishing empire continued to prove its value. In 2024, Sony acquired a major stake in Michael Jackson's music catalog and related assets in a deal that reportedly valued the collection at more than $1.2 billion. The transaction provided the estate with hundreds of millions of dollars and became one of the largest music rights agreements ever completed. The deal underscored the extraordinary success of Jackson's original investment strategy. What began as a purchase worth less than $50 million in the 1980s ultimately evolved into an asset valued at well over $1 billion. It also served as a reminder that some of Michael Jackson's greatest achievements occurred not on stage, but in boardrooms and contract negotiations. The 1999 Rolls-Royce Silver Seraph limousine. Among Jackson's most famous luxury vehicles was a custom-built 1999 Rolls-Royce Silver Seraph limousine. Designed with extensive personalization, the vehicle featured lavish gold detailing throughout the cabin, including decorative accents on the dashboard, door handles, and ventilation panels. Inspired by European royal palaces, the interior combined white leather seating, crystal accessories, and handcrafted finishes to create an atmosphere of pure luxury. The limousine later attracted significant attention from collectors and auction houses, with estimates placing its value between $140,000 and $160,000. However, the planned sale was ultimately withdrawn. Jackson frequently used the vehicle for major premieres, public appearances, and VIP travel. More than a mode of transportation, it was a reflection of his fascination with elegance, royalty, and theatrical presentation. Today, it remains one of the most recognizable celebrity automobiles ever commissioned. The 1990 Rolls-Royce Silver Spur II. Another notable vehicle in Jackson's collection was a stretched 1990 Rolls-Royce Silver Spur II. Unlike the more extravagant Silver Seraph, this limousine offered a refined and understated style. Its interior featured premium white leather upholstery, crystal decanters, entertainment systems, and luxury amenities designed for long-distance comfort. Throughout the early 1990s, Jackson frequently relied on the Silver Spur during promotional appearances, business engagements, and charitable visits. It became one of the most regularly used vehicles in his fleet. The car was meticulously maintained, with service records documenting careful upkeep by professional mechanics. Today, celebrity-owned examples of similar Rolls-Royce models often command impressive prices at collector auctions. While it lacked the dramatic gold accents of some of his other vehicles, the Silver Spur represented a quieter form of luxury, one that balanced comfort, prestige, and timeless design. The 1954 Cadillac Fleetwood. Michael Jackson's passion for automobiles wasn't limited to modern luxury vehicles. He also had a deep appreciation for classic American craftsmanship. Among the standout vehicles in his collection was a beautifully preserved 1954 Cadillac Fleetwood, a model famous for its elegant styling and association with Hollywood's golden age. Equipped with a powerful V8 engine, extensive chrome accents, and plush interior seating, the Fleetwood represented the peak of 1950s automotive design. Well-restored examples of the vehicle are often valued between $50,000 and $80,000, depending on condition and originality. Jackson reportedly maintained his Cadillac in exceptional condition, ensuring it remained both mechanically sound and visually pristine. What made the Fleetwood special wasn't just its value, it was the history it represented. The car connected him to an era of glamour, sophistication, and classic American luxury that existed long before the rise of modern pop culture. Unlike his chauffeur-driven limousines, the Cadillac was more personal in nature. It reflected his appreciation for automotive heritage and timeless design. Before we continue, if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more fascinating stories about Michael Jackson's life and legacy. The 1988 Lincoln Town Car Stretch Limousine. Not every vehicle in Jackson's collection was designed to make headlines. For everyday transportation, his team frequently relied on a white 1988 Lincoln Town Car Stretch Limousine. While less extravagant than his Rolls-Royces, it offered the comfort, reliability, and privacy needed to navigate a demanding schedule. The limousine featured leather seating, enhanced climate controls, tinted privacy windows, and a spacious rear cabin designed for long journeys around Los Angeles. This vehicle became the dependable workhorse of his transportation fleet, handling studio visits, airport transfers, shopping trips, and routine business travel. Today, comparable examples are typically valued between $30,000 and $40,000, though any vehicle with a verified connection to Michael Jackson would likely command a premium among collectors. The Lincoln may have lacked gold accents and royal-inspired decor, but it excelled where it mattered most: comfort, practicality, and reliability. The History World Tour Bus. When Michael Jackson embarked on the History World Tour between 1996 and 1997, he required more than ordinary transportation. To support the demanding schedule of dozens of international performances, he commissioned a custom luxury Neoplan tour bus that effectively served as a rolling hotel. The interior featured premium carpeting, custom furnishings, a king-size bed, a marble-finished bathroom, and a spacious lounge equipped with entertainment systems. A small music workstation allowed Jackson to record ideas and work on creative projects while traveling between concert venues. The conversion reportedly cost more than $500,000, making it one of the most elaborate tour buses of its era. The vehicle enabled him to rest comfortably during overnight journeys, helping him maintain the stamina necessary to perform in front of millions of fans across multiple continents. Far from being a publicity piece, the bus was an essential tool that supported one of the most ambitious world tours in music history. Storage facilities and auction collections. Over the years, Michael Jackson accumulated an enormous collection of personal belongings, memorabilia, furniture, costumes, and decorative pieces. To accommodate these items, he rented multiple storage facilities around Los Angeles. These warehouses housed everything from amusement park equipment and statues to ornate gates, stage props, collectibles, and household items. Following his passing in 2009, auction houses began cataloging and selling many of these possessions. Thousands of items were documented, offering fans and collectors a rare glimpse into the extraordinary scope of Jackson's personal collection. The auctions generated millions of dollars in sales across multiple events, with some pieces attracting intense bidding due to their direct connection to the King of Pop. However, despite frequent rumors and exaggerated internet claims, there is no verified evidence of a hidden billion-dollar treasure trove of possessions. What did exist was an extensive collection that reflected Jackson's fascination with art, history, entertainment, and imagination. Together, these storage facilities revealed another side of his legacy, not just as a performer, but as a lifelong collector whose interests stretched far beyond music.
You just like to have a good time, and take in, oh, did you see over there?
A lifetime of collecting. Stories about Michael Jackson secretly owning billions of dollars worth of antiques have circulated for years, but there is little verified evidence to support such claims. What is documented, however, is the enormous volume of possessions he accumulated throughout his life. From decorative garden sculptures and rare collectibles to office supplies and household furnishings, Jackson rarely threw anything away. Maintaining storage facilities for these belongings costs significant amounts of money each year, creating an ongoing administrative challenge for his estate. Yet these collections also provided a fascinating snapshot of his interests, tastes, and evolving creative vision. The warehouses may have been expensive to manage, but they preserved a remarkable physical record of one of the most famous entertainers in history. The Andy Warhol connection. Michael Jackson's relationship with the art world extended beyond music. In 1984, legendary pop artist Andy Warhol created a silkscreen portrait of Jackson that later appeared on the cover of Time magazine. The artwork became one of the most recognizable celebrity portraits of the era and remains an important part of both artists' legacies. Jackson admired Warhol's artistic style, and the two figures briefly crossed paths within New York's vibrant cultural scene during the 1980s. Over the years, rumors emerged claiming that Jackson owned extremely valuable Warhol masterpieces worth hundreds of millions of dollars. However, such reports have never been supported by credible inventories or estate records. The genuine connection lies in the famous portrait itself and a small number of related works. These pieces have achieved substantial value over time, but nowhere near the exaggerated figures often repeated online. Jackson's appreciation for visual art was real. The myths surrounding its value are often less reliable. The Motown 25 glove. Few pieces of entertainment memorabilia are as iconic as Michael Jackson's crystal-studded glove. The glove became world famous during his performance of Billie Jean at the Motown 25 television special, where audiences witnessed the moonwalk for the first time. That performance transformed a simple accessory into one of the most recognizable symbols in pop culture history. In 2009, the glove sold at auction for hundreds of thousands of dollars, dramatically exceeding expectations and attracting international attention from collectors around the world. Its value was never about the materials used to create it. Instead, it represented a cultural moment that changed music, dance, and live performance forever. Even today, it remains one of the most valuable and recognizable pieces of music memorabilia ever sold. The Thriller jacket. Another legendary item from Jackson's wardrobe was the red and black leather jacket worn in the Thriller music video. Designed by costume designer Deborah Nadelman Landis, the jacket became an instant fashion icon and one of the most recognizable costumes in entertainment history. When it appeared at auction in 2011, collectors responded with extraordinary enthusiasm. The final sale price reached approximately $1.8 million, far surpassing pre-sale estimates and setting a major benchmark for entertainment memorabilia. Its value came from more than the leather and craftsmanship. The jacket was directly connected to a music video that redefined popular culture and remains influential decades after its release. For fans, owning the jacket meant owning a piece of music history. Luxury furniture for Neverland. Jackson's attention to detail extended far beyond music and fashion. To furnish Neverland Ranch, he commissioned luxury furniture from high-end European manufacturers, investing hundreds of thousands of dollars in custom-made pieces. The collection included elaborate dining tables, ornate mirrors, decorative cabinets, and oversized sofas crafted with premium materials and detailed hand finishing. According to those involved in the project, Jackson personally reviewed design choices, approving fabrics, finishes, colors, and decorative elements. He approached interior design with the same perfectionism that he brought to his recordings and stage productions. His goal was simple. Every room should feel magical, elegant, and unforgettable. Following his death, many of these furnishings appeared in auctions, where collectors eagerly purchased pieces connected to Neverland's unique history. The Sega R360 arcade machine. Neverland Ranch wasn't just a home. It was an entertainment complex unlike anything most people had ever seen. Among its most unusual attractions was the Sega R360 arcade simulator, a rare machine capable of rotating players in every direction while simulating high-speed flight and racing experiences. At the time, these commercial-grade machines cost well over $100,000 and were typically found only in specialized amusement centers. The simulator required significant space, specialized maintenance, and dedicated technical support. Nevertheless, Jackson kept it operational for years because he genuinely enjoyed sharing the experience with guests. The R360 was only one part of a much larger arcade collection that included racing games, pinball machines, and other professional-grade attractions. For Jackson, entertainment wasn't something he merely performed, it was something he lived. The Thriller studio equipment. Some of Michael Jackson's most expensive purchases were never seen by the public. During the production of Thriller, he worked with cutting-edge studio technology that represented the very best equipment available at the time. The recording sessions utilized advanced synthesizers, premium microphones, custom monitoring systems, mixing consoles, and specialized audio processors. Together, these tools cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, an enormous investment during the early 1980s. Jackson and producer Quincy Jones believed that exceptional music required exceptional equipment. They refused to compromise on sound quality, pursuing perfection at every stage of the recording process. The results speak for themselves. Thriller became the best-selling album in history, with tens of millions of copies sold worldwide and a cultural impact that continues decades later. In hindsight, those expensive studio investments proved to be some of the smartest purchases of his entire career. Final thoughts. Michael Jackson owned extraordinary homes, luxury cars, rare collectibles, amusement rides, and priceless memorabilia. Many of these possessions captured headlines and fueled public fascination for decades. But the true foundation of his wealth was never a mansion, a limousine, or a piece of artwork. His greatest asset was the music itself. Through songwriting, publishing rights, recordings, and licensing agreements, Jackson built a financial empire that continues to generate revenue long after his passing. The expensive possessions reflected his lifestyle, but the songs created the fortune. And with every stream, download, broadcast, and new generation of listeners, that legacy continues to grow.